And I say, we're finna go on game. Way up to the New York City.
Okay, gang, thank you for your patience. Hope you enjoyed that. Something a little different for me these days. So let's jump into it. I've never done this before, and I am trusting on my guides to lead me through this reading. So as you could see, what was coming out is just put the shamanic intention on the table, build upon the ashes of all the things that we may have had to leave behind in July because the full moon eclipse was so powerful and so effective. And I really think anything that we had been holding on to for whatever reason that wasn't serving our forward growth, it went. So my guides are saying start here. And that's typically the outcome card. This is the rune of separation, a retreat, knowing that when your path separates, you are being given a gift. Interesting. So here's the card. And starts telling, my guides are saying, and we'll jump in from there. We have, many of us, made a supreme sacrifice in some way. It's feeling very tender. It's feeling very deep. It's feeling very mystical. There's something that you know based on what you have experienced. So as we come into the days of the new moon and sail through August, my guides are saying it's appropriate to allow yourself to work with the energy, to honor the energy that you're sailing out of as we sail into this new place. There's a lot of chatter coming through about that, but because I know this is going to be a long reading, I'm going to leave it at that. My guides are saying, you will know, you understand, whatever that means for you, honor it. All right, and so they just want to use that as a way to usher in this idea, this energy. Complement, they're saying, complement it as a way to understand what we're sailing into. So this is the rune of Thila. It is about separation. It's about retreating. It's about a sacred inheritance. This is a time of separating pathways. Old skins must be shed, outmoded relationships discarded. When you receive this rune, a peeling away is called for. It is part of the cycle of initiation. Uthila is a rune of radical severance. And again, my guides are referencing and honoring the tower moments. And they are talking about Earth in general. Okay, we'll get to that. They're already running away with me. So the appropriate action is submission. Knowing how and when to retreat and possessing the firmness of will to carry it out. This is a rune of acquisition and benefits. However, the benefits you receive, the inheritance, may be derived from something that you must give up. This can be particularly demanding when what you are called upon to abandon is either some aspect of your behavior, a part of your cultural heritage, or something that up until now you have proudly claimed as your birthright. Whether this is your attachment to your position in society, to the work that you do, or the beliefs that you hold about your own nature, the separation called for will free you to become more truly who you are. So they've been using the word homage all day. So an homage, as we leap forward and an assurance that we are leaping forward. I love it. And you know, the next card, the first card in my typical reading spread is standstill. It's beautiful. So I think we're just acknowledging the place that we're coming from and what we're moving into and how. So my guides are saying that's quite self-explanatory. We're going to come now and have the opportunity to rebalance ourselves and stand in the beautiful energy of fire. And not just fire, Leo energy, strength, will, abundance, playfulness, joy. And the room for joy is on the table. So in these moments, allow yourself to sit like that in the light of this new moon that's coming forward and all the energy that it brings with us. All right. Because what I love about this is what we gain, in a sense, while we're doing this exercise, my guides are saying that's the room for wholeness. So we are rebuilding. It's clear. It is what the universe intended for us through the intensity of the full moon and all the tower moments that came forward. And so my guides are saying, if you didn't personally have a tower moment in your life, understand that the energy is all around you. Things are falling, and it is the old structure being worn away, ripped away. I think the ripping away is going to happen in December, January, and on into 2020. So we are being prepared. We have been threaded together. And just like this room was saying, we are inheriting gifts. Things are being given because we are floating like a feather into our destiny. So this is the room for wholeness. I'm glad that it's there in the manner that it's there, as it talks about the theme for the reading. So I'm just going to read to you a little bit. I'm not going to go through the whole of every rune, but I just want to get you, in case you're new or you don't remember, just a little flavor, my guides are saying. Whew, I love it. So this is Sowelo, the rune for wholeness, for life force energy, and the sun's energy. Of course, Leo. This rune is about wholeness, that which our nature requires of us. It embodies the impulse towards self-realization, and it indicates the path that you must follow, not from ulterior motives, but from the core of your individuality. Seeking after wholeness is a spiritual warrior's quest. It is important to know that what you are striving to become, in actuality, is what by your nature you already are. So become conscious of your essence in these days and bring it into form. Express it in a creative way. This is a rune of great power, making life force energy available to you. It marks a time for regeneration down to the cellular level. Thank you, Spirit. So, love this. Next card out, the card that indicates us. My guides are saying, all the people. They love that I threw the ashes all over the table. So, the corn, it's about abundance. It's about the intensity of the growth and taking care of all the people, my guides are saying. I love it. So let's just take a quick look at the book. It's interesting that that's coming out now because it's not a card that comes out a lot when I do my readings. So I think it's fairly significant that it's showing up here now. Let me just take a quick look. I believe it's self-explanatory, but I just want to double check myself, okay? Yeah, corn represents the mother of sustenance and tangible abundance. Thank you, Spirit. This symbol represents the material property in the world of form that provides stability and sustenance to many. You planted a beautiful field of dreams, and you've worked hard. Even in the moments when you were losing faith, you continued. Now the spirit of the corn comes to honor this and show you a bountiful harvest. It is time to reap the rewards of your hard work and trust. You are extremely blessed when this symbol appears. Do not forget to share your good fortune. So again, we're going forward in a way that's quite beautiful. And yeah, my guides just keep saying we've met our destiny. I think enough of us have come forward into our destiny in order to be able to initiate the energy that was intended because of the cosmology and the shamanic unfolding that was intended for all the creatures of Earth. So it's interesting because that's the possession. This is the room for possessions, and that's what we are walking into. So let's just check briefly. This is about nourishment. It is a rune of fulfillment and ambition satisfied, love being shared, and then rewards received. This rune promises nourishment from the most worldly to the sacred and the divine. For if the ancient principle, as above, so below, holds true, then we are here to nourish each other and to nourish the divine. This rune calls for a deep probing of the meaning of profit and gain in your life. Look with care to know whether it is wealth and possessions that you require or self-rule and the growth of your will. Second time that's come up, thank you. This rune urges vigilance and continual mindfulness, especially in times of good fortune. Okay, that's enough from that, I think. So, moving on, let's look at the human walk. I love the way these, I just want to thank my guides. Look at that. The gatherer. It's time. It is really time to gather together as a group of beings working on shift and change, because we have everything that we need to ensure that this comes forward. So it's time to go out and gather what you need for yourself. Nourish yourself. Know that these predictions are coming forward. It's time to gather your shamanic tools because you are going to be needed coming forward. It's a really clear message that I think I said I've gotten some downloads. Something really intense is happening. We know. I've been saying it for a long time. If you look at YouTube and astrology, you know. So it's time to bring forward the internal gatherer. But my guys are talking about, your shamanic tools. Whoever you are, it's time to understand that you are a sacred being. And you have the ability to share with the collective your unique gifts because they're going to be needed. So gather them together now. And if you face any obstacles or any challenges, know that you are in the perfect place for yourself and just continue to do your work. So it's interesting that the rune here is, according to this book, is the rune for defense. I believe it is Awaz. It's on page 109. It's about avertive powers. And I really like this. I think we're going to need this going forward. Well, I guess clearly it wouldn't be on the table. So let me just read that to you. As we are tested, we fund the power to avert defeat. Ooh, it's giving me a chill. Yeah. I think my guides wanted me to do it this way because the intensity of the energy now is really growing. It's time to really see it, they're saying. So just look into the cards. I know they're a little oblique, and I will hold them up for you. So if there appears to be an obstacle in your path, consider that even a delay might prove beneficial. As you walk through these next days, do not be overly eager to press forward. This may not be a time or a situation in which you can make your influence felt. Patience is the counsel of Awaz. Do not be hectic. Do not act needy. Do not lust after a desired outcome. This rune speaks to the potential difficulties that can arise at the beginning of a new life. Often it announces a time of waiting for a spring to fill up with water or for fruit to ripen on the bough. So that's where we're going, right? Clearly into this abundance. It's a very mystical shamanic journey that we're taking. And I love this idea of waiting for the spring to fill up with water, for fruit to ripen on the bough, so that we can gather them together. So be patient and do gather your shamanic tools. Whatever it is that you feel called to, it's time to increase that now and to focus on that. So perseverance and foresight are called here. Continue. Okay, my guys are saying continue to perform right action. More than we are doers, we are deciders. And once your decision is clear, the doing becomes effortless, for then the universe supports and empowers your action. You are put on notice that through inconvenience and discomfort, growth is promoted. This may well be a trying time, and they're talking about for all of the earth people. Certainly it is a meaningful time. It is important to set your house in order, tend to business, be clear, and wait on the will of heaven. So, whatever your shamanic tools are, whatever your mystical tools, it could be anything. All things are needed. I believe that's what you're gathering together while we wait for things to turn. And we just bask in this beautiful Leo energy. Gather that to yourself. The notion of pure light, the pure light of love energy that's coming through in this beautiful way. It's a very serious reading. My guides are also saying, don't forget to use, while you're waiting on the will of heaven, play. Be joyful. This is the rune for joy. Make sure to take up all the energy that's available. And I think that's why they wanted it done this way, because of all the energy. They wanted to just sort of, my guides are saying, give a little tutorial about how to go through these next days based on this Leo eclipse. So, or new moon, pardon me. So the next card, look, again, continuing this general message. Look at that. That's where we are now. My guides are saying that's who we are now. We've all come into the realm of shamanism. Anybody who's here to pick up this message, whether you feel it's true, know that it is true. And begin to wait on the will of heaven. Gather your tools together. Walk straight toward that which inspires you. Because it's time to really give yourself the gift of knowing in this way what's happening here on the earth and how important it is, your part, whatever that might be. And it is going to take some strength. And that is the room for strength. So let me search out the page and I'll give you a little blip on that. And thank you for your patience to be here to collect this message. So this is a rune for strength. It embodies manhood and womanhood and symbolized by the wild ox. This is a rune of terminations and new beginnings here on earth. And drawing it indicates that the life you've been living has outgrown its form. That form must die so that new energy can be released in a new form. And it is the energy of the sacred lion-hearted intention, my guides are saying. Love this. Here, right here on the earth, this is so beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. This is a rune of passage, and as such, it is part of the cycle of initiation. As things continue to fall away, prepare for opportunity disguised as loss. It could involve the loss of someone or something to which you have an intense emotional bond, and through which you are living a part of your life. A part of your life that must now be retrieved. It is important that you live it out for yourself. In some way, the bond that is being severed, a relationship radically changed, a way of life coming to an end. So that you can seek among the ashes. Thank you, Spirit, that's what that was all about. Seek among the ashes and discover a new perspective and a new strength. The ancient symbol for Urus was the aurochs, a wild ox. And when it was domesticated, which was an immensely difficult task, it could transport heavy loads. Learn to adapt yourself to the demands of such a creative time. Firm principles attached to this rune. Humility is called for, since in order to rule, you must learn how to serve. Urus puts you on notice that your soul and the universe are in need of this new growth. So really profound, I think, in these moments. Yes, we may face some challenges. I think certainly we all know that we may. If we take up this work and we focus on our abundance and sit in the light of this full sun, I believe anything that needs to come forward will come. So we're talking about the challenges involved in being a spiritual warrior, I think. And what it is to use your strength in order to bring forward this growth. So focus on the positive attributes you do have. Stay away, my guides are saying, from any negative thoughts. Stay away from your fears and stand in your wisdom, because that is your strength. And that is what brings new growth upon which we go forward and have the ability to address any challenges that arise. So this is particularly beautiful because magic is at hand. absolutely true, I believe. Startling days that we live in, and we all came here as volunteers to help shepherd this change that's coming. And the beauty upon which it rests is this notion of Leo energy, opening a new pathway forward. Because the magic of what is transpiring, the way we are threaded, the gifts being received, this lightness of being, while we stand still in these moments. Absolutely gorgeous. Childlike innocence, the innocence of that type of Leo play that my guides are talking about. So the rune that's sitting there is absolutely beautiful. This is the rune for breakthrough. And my guides are saying all the things already said, talked a lot about what we've had to sacrifice, what we've had to leave behind in order to come to our inheritance, that which is meant for us. As we walk forward with childlike vision, innocent, pure, renewed, all those things my guys are talking about. So let me see what page that's on. That's on 135. Beautiful coming forward, my guides are saying. They just want you to know. So this is the rune de Gaz. It is about breakthrough and transformation, daylight. This is the final rune belonging to the cycle of initiation. Drawing this rune often signals a major shift or a breakthrough in the process of self-change. There is a complete transformation in attitude, a 180-degree turn. For some, the transition is so radical that they are no longer able to live the ordinary life in the ordinary way. So I'm going to pause there because my guys are talking in the background about just sort of reiterating, understand now what is coming forward on this earth. When we gather our shamanic tools, our strength, our abilities, despite the challenges that might arise, there's really nothing standing in your way, because it's moving through the challenges that are meant to bring you growth and the strength to carry it out that brings us forward into the magic of these moments of the pearl being threaded and the gifts that are being received. It's an astounding moment, and we are being assured, I believe, because the timing is right. The outcome, thank you, Spirit, is assured, although not from the present vantage point entirely predictable. In each life there comes at least one moment when, if recognized and seized, transforms the course of that life forever. It is time to rely, therefore, on radical trust, even though the moment may call for you to leap empty-handed into the void. Yeah, my guys are talking about that's what this is all about, right? That's why this comes first, to give yourself assurance that yes, you can leap into the void. Gather up what is meant to come to you based on your strengths, and don't seek to protect yourself based on your fears. There's lots of chatter coming through about that stuff. My guides talk about it all the time. So rely on the radical trust. With this rune, your warrior nature fully reveals itself. Absolutely perfect. Thank you, Spirit. All right, so the bridge card, the sacred rainbow. Again, doesn't need a lot of explanation. Do you see the rapid forward motion with this fire energy and the refraction of light bringing this joy forward and rapid flight? See this beautiful bird there? There's the sun. It's the rainbow energy that we're coming into. A lot of meanings about that across the world. But my guides say, but you understand. And you know what I love about this? As we come through the human walk and we move into the manifestation of our spiritual destiny, literally what we're doing is flying over the rainbow. Ooh, it's getting me all choked up. So allow yourself to take flight. Take up the message, and that is the room for joy. Perfection. Thank you, Spirit. So on the spirit realm, this just came up in my own life. All of these actions, all these energies have the effect on a soul level of shaking the shamanic rattle. That's why my guides are talking about gather up your shamanic tools, whatever they may be. Trust that you have them. If you're here watching this channel, know that you are on point. You are on your mission. It's time to go deep inside. Shake the shamanic rattle inside of you. The purpose of your soul cycle. While you assist the universe to bring these energies forward. That's why the rattle is utilized in this way, to bring the energy, to move it and shift it forward, so that we all go through this gateway. I'm going to read that to you, okay? Beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. So, again, interesting. This is Thurzaz. It is the sacred gateway. It is a place of non-action. In the ancient traditions, it represented the god Thor. With a gateway for its symbol, this rune indicates that there is work to be done both inside and outside yourself. Thurzaz represents the frontier between heaven and the mundane. Look at this. Absolutely astounding to me. Gathering together our shamanic tools so that we can shake the rattle and come through the gateway. Arriving here is a recognition of your readiness to contact the numinous and the divine, and to illuminate your experience so that its meaning shines through its form. In a sense, the Thurzaz is a rune of non-action, and thus the gateway is not to be approached and passed through without contemplation. And here's the contemplation that we're meant to have. Thank you, Spirit. Here you are being confronted with a clear reflection of what is hidden inside yourself and what is meant to be exposed and examined before right action can be undertaken. This rune, my guys are saying this rattle, the rattle strengthens your ability. Now is not a time to make decisions, because deep transformational forces are at work in this next to the last of the cycle runes. Visualize yourself standing before a gateway on a hilltop. Your entire life lies out behind you and below. Before you step through the gateway, pause and review the past, the learning, the joys, the victories, the sorrows, everything it took to bring you to this moment. Observe it all, bless it all, shake the rattle over it all, and release it, all of it. For it is in letting go of the past that you reclaim your power. Okay, my guys are talking about stepping through. So there's a process that needs to happen that is, I'm being corrected, that is happening on a soul level. We see it here, reflected in our earthly journey with the intention of flying over the rainbow. And when we arrive into this place, it's time to shake the shaman's rattle, have a ceremony, do some cleansing and releasing. That's what's happening literally on a soul level here on this earth with the benefit of this beautiful Leo full moon, new moon. Mercury is still in retrograde, so that's how that's going to be, my guys are saying. So really beautiful notion. Focus on that. And it's interesting that this came out, the rattle, along with the rune for gateway, right here at the pearl threaded. This is the gateway we're going through into this connection now that we've been building because we've been perfecting our energy. Thank you, Spirit. Really gorgeous. And so the next card, I want to remind everybody, go look at the reading for Capricorn if you have not, that I did about the full moon in Capricorn. This card came out. So yes, all of the things being said, one of the purposes on a soul level is to become the sacred witness. It's very powerful energy. And it's because you have what has transpired and what has been transferred and what you know, just because you have collected through your experience a great deal of knowledge. So many of us know the power of being a witness for another person as they transform their life. And now we are being the witness all together as a tapestry of souls, watching the earth turn, my guides are saying, watching the destiny come forward. So these are the tools that we're going to need. And this is the rune Berkana. It's interesting, it just came out in the reading that I did about the tower. It's about new growth. It's about being in a place where there's readiness for growth to come forward. So my guides want me to read it. I was going to skip over it, but just give me a sec. So Berkana is about growth. It's about rebirth. It is one of the cycle runes, and it represents a form of fertility that fosters growth, both symbolically and actually. This growth may occur in affairs of the world, and that's what we're talking about. It may also be true in family matters and the relationship of the self correctly connected to the divine. It's a rune of blossoming and ripening. It's concerned with the flow of beings into their new form. Its action is gentle, penetrating, and pervasive. That's the place we're growing into. The sacred witness. That brings a lot of power, and my guides are saying, brings forward an intense amount of energy in order to bring the awareness of real sight and clear vision, and to become a witness and to just stand as a witness. One of the most powerful things a human being can do when it comes to the realm of society, and there are lots of, over time, many examples of that. My guides are saying you understand the inference, so I'm going to move on. So this card, beautiful, the smoky mirror, and it's perfectly complemented. So this is about the things that might be difficult to see and to understand, and what's beyond the surface. So it's just time to look deeply into the smoke, into the mirrors, to see the mystery of the universe that is working its way forward. My guys are talking about the time coming forward when things will no longer be hidden, and I think it's part of why we're gathering up this power, shaking the rattle, gathering up our ability and our power to be the sacred witness. Okay, they're asking me to open the book. There's something there I'm not speaking to, apparently. And let me just see. The smoky mirror represents the aspects of what is implied yet cannot be immediately known in the world. It is the mystery of how things come together and how they fall apart without obvious causality. This symbol also represents the shadow of the human psyche, the part of the self that one disowns. And very interesting. So you are invited to see beyond your own self. Wow. It is time to acknowledge that past the limits of your current ability to perceive, there are vast interconnected energies where events in the world are orchestrated in divine order. They may be challenging to fully grasp. Now is the time to trust that no matter what comes forward out of the current conditions of your world, the hidden realms and all the aspects of the human journey are celebrated. The beauty and the darkness, the mystery and the courage. No matter where you are in your journey, know that some things are meant to be a mystery, which you are meant to understand only through your experience. So take heart, for the smoky mirror will ultimately show you beauty and wonder. Once the fog lifts away the distortion, you have a clearer ability to see. So there is destiny coming forward. Our abilities are ramping up, my guides are saying. And I love this outcome. That's the room for partnership. Clearly, we're talking about the divine, right? Very clearly. And look, I love how my guides place these runes. It's always perfection to me. The heart of the sky. So let's take a look. So part of the message of this rune of partnership is the ability to stay grounded in yourself. No matter what you are partnering with, it's really important not to collapse yourself into a partnership. All right, so my guys are telling me to read that first, and then we'll talk about Heart of Sky, since I'm already on the topic, they're saying. Within this rune is also the rune for the self. And an important notion to take up as well, my guys are saying. So this is the rune Gabo. It is a gift to be in sacred partnership. And drawing this rune is an indication that partnership, in some form, is at hand. In love relationships, business matters, affairs of the world, partnering of every kind, you are put on notice not to collapse yourself into the union. For true partnership is achieved only by separate and whole beings who retain their separateness even as they unite. Remember to let the winds of heaven dance between you. There is another aspect of partnership that you're being called to consider. The path of partnership can lead you to the realization of the greatest union, union with the higher self and union with the divine. The ultimate gift of this rune is the realization of the divine in all things. Gabo is the rune for partnership, and it has no reverse because it signifies the freedom, the gift of freedom, from which flow all other gifts. So if you're going to be in a partnership, be in that state of being of freedom and let the partnership augment your travel, not control it, not divert it. Stand in your own self. Very important. Okay, let's see. So Heart of Sky. This essence being represented here as the outcome card. Heart of Sky is the love force that makes all creation possible. This same force is present when you create with originality, when you bring formlessness into form or inspired ideas into expression. This is the primeval force of the universe. It does not know good or bad. It is up to us to provide the clear intention that will guide it to manifest. The Heart of Sky energy helps us call in beauty from the invisible world and birth it into the world of matter. The Heart of Sky brings you a sacred reminder that you are a channel for the original energy of creation. It is time to become the paintbrush, the canvas, and the artist, all guided by the Heart of Sky medicine. Set your intentions ethically and clearly, shake the rattle, and allow the universe to take care of the details. So, beautiful, deep, kind of choking me up kind of message about the type of partnership that we're in now. Given the fact that we have this Leo energy moving us forward and this beautiful new moon that's coming. So thanks everyone for being here. I didn't expect the reading to come out this way, but my guides are saying that's the way we want it. So understand that within all of these very serious words, we're talking about joy and we're talking about flying over the rainbow. You know what? Interesting. I don't think I read that too, did I? I'm going to do that. Let me just double check and see. I love that. That's one of my favorite runes. So it is on page, come on. Oh yeah, that's the rune for journey. Right. Thank you, Spirit, for shaking the rattle at me. So while we're in this smoky mirror energy, that is Rido. The rune is concerned with communications and the attunement of something that has two sides. Oh, that's why it's there with smoky mirror. Thank you. Two elements, and within the ultimate union that comes at the end of a journey, when what is above and what is below are united and of one mind. I'm going to leave it there because it's perfect. Thanks everyone for being here. I think my guys just wanted to express the very serious, soulful, shamanic energy that's going on under the surface while we play in the beautiful light of the new moon and the energy of Leo. So definitely be a child. Know that daylight is coming. Magic is at hand. We're making breakthroughs. So while you sit in this very serious way in the energy, in order to bring forward the abundance that's meant to happen here, so we can fly over the rainbow into the Heart of Sky, go out and have some fun. And write down your intentions of joy, my guides are saying, because the pearl is threaded. Thanks, everyone. I'll look forward to seeing you soon.